Hi there, Jesse here with eTrailer. Today we'll be taking a look at, and I'll show you how to install the Curt custom fit trailer wiring on our 2012 Jeep Wrangler. Trailer wiring is going to be absolutely essential if you plan on doing any kind of towing with your Jeep. It's going to keep you safe and legal out there on the road by sending a signal to your trailer and making your turn signals and your brake lights and your tail lights function properly. Here's a closer look at how we have our wiring installed on our neighbor's Jeep. You'll see we have a universal bracket that we use that you will have to purchase separately if you wanted it like this, and then a 4-pole bracket. This is really nice if you want a clean look, but if you weren't looking to buy some separate things, you could just hang it from the dust cover on the safety cable loop there. That's fine. Speaking of dust cover, it's just a nice solid rubber that'll keep any dirt and debris from getting in there and corroding your terminals. This kit from Curt is custom fit and it comes with a T connector, which means it simply just plugs into your factory tail light wiring. So the installation is pretty simple. It's just a matter of popping this tail light out, then running the wires down, and grounding out everything. If it's not something that you're looking to do yourself, maybe you just don't have the time, the space, or the tools to do so, feel free to check out our dealer locator. If you are looking to get this wiring set up yourself, then follow along and I'll walk you through it. Also, if you have installed this yourself, maybe you have some tips or tricks to share, or you just want to share some photos of what you're hauling with your Jeep, then feel free to leave a comment or a review below. We'll begin our installation by removing our driver's side tail light here. There's going to be 4 Phillips screws holding it in. We get those removed, then our tail light should just pop out. On the back side here, we'll have to disconnect our electrical connector. Should just be able to push in on this tab here and separate the 2 plugs. Now we'll take our T connector harness, and first thing I'll do is just take our white wire, that's our ground, and I'm actually going to ground it underneath the vehicle. So we'll just separate this white wire, and that way we can send it down with our 4-pole. So that should be enough there. And I'll just feed this down. You'll see a hole towards the front. We'll feed it down, and then once we get the vehicle up in the air, I can pull those up or pull those down. And get that all pushed back there. Then we'll take our T connector, plug in this end, and then we can plug our tail light into this end, but first I'm going to get everything set up down below. So our ground location, I'm just going to plan on grounding it right here on this tab that comes off the frame. We have quite a bit of slack here, so you could just ground it there with a self-tapper and bundle up your extra slack and zip tie it up to keep it out of the way. But I have an extra ring terminal laying around, so I'm just going to cut our slack off and then crimp a new ring terminal on there. So I just strip back a little bit, and again, this is just if you have an extra ring terminal, not super necessary. I just think it'll turn out a little bit cleaner. So I have that crimped on there, and I'll just take our included self-tapper and run that into our frame. Now we just need to find somewhere to mount it. If you wanted to, you could just hang it here by the dust cover. That's perfectly fine, but the way we're setting up ours is we have a universal mounting bracket here attached to the frame, and then our 4-pole bolted into that. So that's just a matter of pushing our 4-pole in, and that's going to give it a nice clean look. So now we have that mounted up. I just have to get our wires bundled up and get that nice and neat. So I'll just use a couple of zip ties to get some of this slack out of our way. We'll just plug our tail light back into that T-connector. We'll put our screws back in, and then we're ready to test it and make sure everything's working right. I plugged in a 4-pole tester. We do have these available here at eTrailer, or you could always just hook up to your trailer to make sure everything's working. But I'll just go through the lights. These should be our tail lights. That's our left turn, right turn, and brakes. Now that we have everything tested, we know it's all working right. That's going to do it for our look at and installation of the Curt custom fit trailer wiring on our 2012 Jeep Wrangler.